I have a bone to pick with the authors of that study. Because in the original version of that paper, which was put out online as a preprint, they cited and actually made a very big deal out of one of my papers published in 2013. Because what they essentially did is replicated my analysis with their own homebrewed measure of kinship, and used that to show how I predicted all these weird traits, white, industrialized, educated, democratic, etc. And in the preprint version, they had not only a reference to my paper, but a discussion of its merits and dismerits in their opinion. However, the version that came out in Science, the reference was nowhere to be found. I checked the supplement as well. I've actually noticed this more and more with my papers. I often find references to them in preprints, and then when the paper gets published miraculously, the reference is removed. So, there's cancel culture, which is starting to affect scientific citation, whereby journal editors, particularly elite journals, are now starting to tell authors who they can and cannot cite. They're making recommendations. I've actually had this myself when I've published papers. I've had reviewers and editors say, well, you should really remove that citation to Kevin MacDonald or J. Philip Rushton. I don't do it. I refuse to do it.
I've had that. I've been told by a reviewer to remove a reference to Rushton in a paper, and I asked why. And then equally in my own case, there was a paper that was published on religion and intelligence recently by Zuckerman, and there was a section in which he discussed my research. And then he said, oh, well, there was this editing process and it was removed. And I was like, well, why? I wonder if there was some sort of conspiracy there as well. He had sent it to me, this detailed section which looked at my research and also Satoshi's research. And this was expunged from what was published, which I thought was very interesting.
I have noticed this with my own research 3 or 4 times now. I have inside information from 1 or 2 of the editors on these journals that this practice is actually real. I'm not going to obviously name names or mention journals, but I have some spies in very high places. And basically, yes, a lot of these editors operate on the policy that you're not allowed to cite naughty people. And the idea is, it's not enough to go after intelligence researchers or rogue evolutionary psychologists and destroy their reputation. It's not enough to deny them any kind of an income or salary. It's not enough to simply destroy their livelihoods. Now you have to actually destroy their intellectual legacy, insofar as they've actually made any kind of a meaningful contribution to the discussion. So, it's complete and total unpersoning. We are living in the most Orwellian of times, we really are.